RealestateWholesalerClub.com. Go to the Wholesaling Lease Options training. It's in the free basic training. If you click that tab, then what it'll do is it'll show you the modules for the trainings. And with those modules, you'll be able to go and look inside the materials for those training modules. And then you'll be able to get all of the paperwork that we show during these 4 weeks, okay? All right, let's take a look at it. Let's see if I can pull it up. And then I want to show you some other things. We're going to do a quick refresh. Hey, Teresa, good to see you here. We're going to do a quick refresh on wholesale lease options. This was an example that we used. It is 1230 Apple Cart Way. It doesn't even exist. I changed the address. But this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage. Remember, that's our bread and butter, guys. This is bread and butter. This is what we're going for. This is just a quick refresher. These are the types of properties you're looking for. You're not looking for junkers, okay? You're not looking at ugly houses. You're looking at houses that are livable. In fact, if they are not livable, then they do not qualify for a wholesale lease option. Meaning, if a tenant cannot move right in and get to living there, it does not qualify for a very good wholesale lease option deal, virtual or otherwise. Bread and butter, guys. Bread and butter. Hey, that's my mom watching. Hey, Mom. Good to see you. Bread and butter. It's 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. Hey, Teresa. Hey, Lorenzo. Good to see you guys. We still have people popping on. And my mom checked in on me. I love you, Mom. Yeah, the bread and butter houses, guys, don't try to force a property deal that's just not bread and butter. Okay? It's going to be harder for you to find a tenant buyer. That is the long and short of it. You're going to have a harder time finding a tenant buyer if you're not sticking to bread and butter houses or close to. Okay? Like if you get a property deal and you're like, oh, hey, Justin, I'm real excited about this wholesale lease option deal I got. It's a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, and it's 600 square feet. And, I'm going to be like, well, you've eliminated a lot of your buyer pool out there. Not a lot of people are looking for a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. Maybe perhaps in some major metropolitan markets that would be desirable. But as it stands here in my market today, and in the markets that I do this in, 1-bedroom, 1-bath, not a lot of people trying to knock the doors down to get inside. Everybody wants that 3-bedroom, 2-car, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage. Everybody wants that. Everybody wants it. You and I want it. That's what we want to live in. I'm talking about properties that look nice, okay? They don't look junky. They look like something like this, okay? This is a nice property. And you can see this one's for rent. There's a for rent sign. This is an excellent property to target. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. It's livable. A tenant can move right in. They can make their life happen right there inside those walls without any labor and hard work going into it. And those buyers would be willing. Okay, 2 things I want you to notice about this. 1, they'd be willing to put down money to live in a place like this and call it theirs. Yeah. They get a shot to try it out before they buy it out, right? That's the story. And they're going to try it out before they buy it out, but they can call it theirs. They can act like it's theirs. We want them to act like it's theirs. We want them to take ownership in this property deal. So this is a pretty house. Second thing I want you to notice is not only will a buyer be willing to put down money to live here, which is your profits, but he's also for rent. Yeah, perfectly okay to contact landlords and ask them if they would consider your offer to do a wholesale lease option. Absolutely okay. Absolutely okay to do that. These for rent properties are prime. They're already ready to move in. They're already tenant ready. Okay, so it already fits the qualifications on that level. If it's close to a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, if it's 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath, 1-car garage, okay, yeah, fine. All right. Now, this one here in particular, this particular house happened to be a for rent, and a lot of the best, really, a lot of the best wholesale lease option deals come from the for rent section of Craigslist. Also, for rent on Zillow and other places online. It's not, you're not just limited to for sale by owners. You can go into calling the for rents and landlords. Absolutely, you should, because those are going to be some of the best that you'll ever find out there. Those deals, you're going to find some great deals that way. All right, now that's a bit of a catch up from last week. You remember we talked about bread and butter. We talked about getting your target and your focus right, how it becomes easier to find buyers, tenant buyers, when you're looking for bread and butter type deals instead of just, whatever willy-nilly comes down the pike. Okay. So I do want to take some time today and show you guys how I generate leads. One of the students, or I guess I could rather say one of the members of the free Facebook group, took that document and has made it her own. Okay. And you can see that she did an incredible job. She really dolled it up. Okay. Really cleaned it up and made it hers. Okay. That's what I'm talking about, you guys. Make this stuff yours. I mean, don't just like slap the logo on it. I mean, you could, okay. You slap a logo on it and, call it yours. Absolutely. But, it's better if you kind of make it yours like she did, for example. See what I'm saying? That's some nice stuff. Nice stuff. And good job with that. The person who did it. I'm not going to call you out right here. In those modules, you're also going to find this lead property information sheet, guys. Okay, this is how you're going to qualify those leads once you get them. But first of all, I'm going to show you how we get the leads. Anybody want to know how we get the leads? Yeah, I know you do. I know you want to know how we get the leads. So let me play this little video of me walking you through the automated REI. And that way you'll get an idea of exactly how we do this. Yep, this is the pricing list right here. Okay, $0 per month. Start generating leads using the automated REI and the Craigslist Scraper tool. You can see I'm logged in here at the automated REI dashboard. Over to the left, there's a vertical menu. I can slide up and down. This time I'm going to slide down to the Craigslist Scraping tab, and I'm going to select that. Let's go ahead and name this campaign, again, today's date. And let's do Kansas City, Missouri. Now, remember, for the second option for scraping Craigslist, you'll want to select the request type, submit Craigslist URL manually. Now that we've done that, it's asking us to paste a URL here. Well, we don't have one yet, so let's go to Craigslist. You can see I'm on Craigslist now, and I'm in the Kansas City, Missouri Craigslist because that's where I want to do my scraping today. So once I'm on Craigslist in the market that I want to be in, I'm going to find the housing section. And once I find the housing section, I'm going to go ahead and select real estate for sale. I could select apartments and housing for rent if I'm looking for rental properties. But today, I'm looking for sale by owners. So I'm going to select real estate for sale. Now up here at the top, there are 3 drop-down menus. One says Kansas City, the second says housing, and the third says real estate for sale. I can select this one, and it'll drop down more options for me. Now I can select real estate for sale by owner, not just real estate for sale, which would include both by owner, by agent, by broker, and by anyone else. Real estate by owner and specific. Now I can get very, very, very specific here. And let me show you a gold nugget. And these are the kind of tips that we talk about in the business plan of the automated REI, where you receive 6 live Q&A sessions each week. You can access those and ask these kind of questions, and we share these kind of tips. But I'm going to show you a secret ninja tip for working with Craigslist and the automated REI Craigslist Scraper. First of all, I want to refine my list down to something very specific so that I know that I'm not wasting any time, any money, and I'm reaching the exact people that I want to reach. Right now, I'm looking at real estate by owner. These are properties that are for sale by the owner. Now, there is 726 that it has pulled up. Let's get more specific. I can hit the minus button and type in realtor. What this will do is this will remove any listings that include the word realtor. I can minus and then say management. This will remove any listings that have the phrase management or property management company. I can hit the minus button and I can subtract any listings that include the word realty. I can, even though these are for sale by owners, right? This is a gold nugget tip. I can hit the minus button and I can remove any properties that have, what's another good one? Agent. Okay. Let's say there's something that I want it to include, not exclude. So far, we're excluding realtor, property management, realty, agents. Let's also exclude manager, but let's try including. It must include fixer-upper. Okay, now if I hit the search button, it will pull up listings that do not, that are for sale by owner, that do not include the words realtor, management, realty, agent, or manager, and they also must include the words fixer-upper. Now I'll hit search. There are 44 listings on Kansas City, Missouri Craigslist for properties that fit this exact criteria. If this is the list that I'm looking for, I'm going to go to the browser address bar, highlight that. I'm going to right click and copy the domain. It's really, really long and ugly. But as soon as I have it copied, I'm going to go back to the automated REI and I'm going to paste it right here. You can do that by right clicking and then selecting paste or use Control V. Now, once I've done that, I can click the blue button, check data count, and you can see it says there's 44 listings that it scraped off of that domain for a $1.32 charge. Now, if I go back to the Craigslist, you can see there is 44. So it has scraped this exact page of this exact list of these properties for sale by owner. Once I've done that, I can click proceed. Once I click proceed, it will create down here these words. Now you can create campaign. In order to make my campaign start, I need to click the big green button, create campaign. Let's do that now. Now it pops up here. It says campaign created successfully. Please check in campaign history. So if I slide on the left down to the scraping history and I select that, it will pull up right here, number 1, Kansas City, Missouri Craigslist, the time and day that we ran that, and it'll say scheduled until the scraping is completed, and then it will say completed. That is how you use the automated REI to create leads using the Craigslist Scraper tool in 2 different methods. Now, the next video, we will talk about sending an SMS blast to those scraped leads off of Craigslist using the Start SMS button, which will become available to us as soon as this scraping is complete. You'll notice I'm logged into the automated REI dashboard. Over here to the left with the vertical menu, I'm going to slide down all the way to the bottom
I'm going to select TCPA compliance. Now, in order to do this, I will have had to have either run a scrape on Craigslist or on Zillow with either the Zillow scraping tool or the Craigslist scraping tool so that I have something to text. Or I could upload a list here, and I'll show you that in a moment. But first of all, let's name our test TCPA compliance text campaign right now. All right, I'm going to name it VIP Test Compliance Campaign. Again, I'm going to use the Select Campaign option, and I'm going to choose a scrape that we just did. If I wanted to upload a list instead of choosing a campaign that I had previously scraped, all I would have to do is format the spreadsheet according to this sample here, and you can download that and take a look at it pretty easily, and then simply just click the Upload List button and select your file and click Done. Okay, that's how easy it is to upload a list. But we're going to go ahead and use the Select Campaign option and select a scraping campaign that I had just previously done in Phoenix, Arizona. In fact, I think yesterday. Below that, it's going to give me the option to select a voice record. This is my inbound voicemail greeting. This is what leads will hear if they choose to call me back instead of text me back. So I'm going to select a voicemail greeting right here that is appropriate for this particular campaign. Okay, now here we go. Let's slide down a little bit further. If you don't have a phone number to text from, you can buy one here. They're very, very inexpensive. And if you have bought some, you can select them here. I'm going to go ahead and select this one, 859-203-1898. And then I'm going to write my message in this box. Now, I'm going to click Send Now. And you can see it automatically pulled up a box that we created a campaign successfully. All right. I have also sent this message now to one phone number, and now it is set up for me to send it to number 2 of 56 numbers. If I don't want to send it to this for some reason, all I have to do is hit skip, and I can skip through as many as I wish, and I can send as many as I wish.
You can schedule when you want to do the scrape, right? Now, it's going to take 24 hours anyway. And then you can schedule when you want to do the text blast. So you want to do a text blast on the scrape that you made, and you want to do it when you're ready to respond to some of those, responses, the yes, no's, and maybes. Don't do it and then ignore these people. That's what I'm getting at, okay? Don't do it and then ignore these people. That's not fun. And then, of course, when you're ready to do that, you're going to want to go to the modules. You're going to want to pull up, some of this paperwork, like, for example, the lease option agreement memo. All right. This is the contract that you're trying to get with the seller. Okay. Now, again, I'm not an attorney. This is just provided as is without any warranty, or I'm not trying to guarantee you anything is going to happen with anybody's legal statuses or anything. I don't know nothing about law. This is an example, but I have used it. Okay. With that being said, I have used it, and I've used it many, many, many times. Okay. So, lease option agreement memo. Read this, guys. Go to the modules back there in the regular wholesaling lease option and pull this out and check it out, because it is like the most benign contract or agreement you'll ever read. I mean, it's like the most non-offensive thing that there ever was written. Like, for real. Seller may use the buyer's lease option agreement forms or may use a form that the seller chooses. Seller may cancel this agreement memo at any time before we find a tenant buyer. Right? Like, you're telling them buyer's intention is to find a lease option tenant and assign this lease option agreement memo to that lease option tenant for a fee. I mean, you're telling them everything right here. This is what you're going for in your conversations with the homeowners or landlords, the sellers, for example, here. All right. This is the conversation you're going for. And Let me see if I can get to it. Here it is. This is the lead information sheet. So when you initially text these folks back, you're going to want to have this information right here in front of you. Right? Because these are the most important parts. Of course, you want to get the date, you want to get the time, all this stuff. You know, you want to get their name and their cell phone number down, of course, so that they can be contacted back. But, you know, in the conversation, you're going to want to find out, hey, asking price, seller's estimated value. Okay. What are some comps that you've come up with? Okay. And that the seller has come up with. Do they know of any? Why did they price it the way they did? Get the existing mortgage information. All of these things a virtual assistant can do as well. Hey, Alifa, when do you want to move? Okay, that's important, because if it's 6 months from now, okay, well, that kind of changes the thing for you. All right, so this will give you a flow of conversation. And I'm not, you know, remember, I've always kind of said formulas are for babies, okay? But you're going to grow out of things like this, scripts, and, you know, I could give you a script, but I might as well just give you something you'll never be able to use, because the conversation never goes just like the script's written, okay? Never. You know, you need to be able to take grander ideas like, hey, this is the asking price. I need to get, by the end of this conversation, hey, Janet, I need to be able to get through the conversation and have asking price, estimated value, comparables, ideas of why they think it costs, what they think what it's worth. You know, why do they think it's worth what they think it's worth? The existing mortgage information, when they want to move, you know, how many bedrooms and bathrooms, so on and so forth. Is there any information here that is, you know, unnecessary? But, you know, but you can go ahead and try to get a lot of this information from that initial conversation with them, when you're not even trying to pitch them the idea. You're just trying to get some information about them and their level of motivation and the property itself to see if this deal would work. Okay. All of these forms are over there in the realestatewholesalersclub.com in the wholesaling lease options training modules. Okay, guys. So, you know, don't forget about that stuff over there. You know, it's free. It's not going to bite you. So you're going to be able to, you know, take your business from ground zero on up. You know, if you don't have any forms, you don't have any agreements, you don't know how that works, you know, it helps to just get in there and read the agreements. That answers a lot of questions for you as you're learning these things. Okay. As you're learning these things, it's going to answer a lot of questions for you just to go through the paperwork and understand what your goals are. Yeah, my goals are to get these things signed up. No, it helps to know what they say and how they read. And once you see what that, man, I showed you guys that lease option agreement memo. Yeah. Yeah, it's like the most easy thing in the world. If they're motivated and they want to do the deal, there is nothing in that agreement that's going to run them off. That's the point I'm trying to make. All right, guys, do we have any questions about wholesaling lease options? Virtually. Do we have any questions about the automated REI and how to produce leads? Mike says, what do I need to have in place to do deals in other parts of the country? Really nothing, man. I mean, there's nothing special about it. You know, you can do this deal. You can do the same deal in your own market that you do in any other market in the United States. You know, there are some special nuances. Ryan Webb's got a question. He says, does the upfront non-refundable option fee, the example that your tenant buyer would be bringing, does it cost, let's say if it's $10,000, does it come off the full asking price? Yes. Yes. So you're going to want to raise that full asking price. In other words, if you buy it from your contract with the seller says 100,000, Ryan, you're going to want to mark up to 110,000, right? And then you're going to want to have that 10,000 come off then. Now, so, you know, you've basically structured that profit in there for yourself. Now, the question then next is, well, how I would guess logically, a logical person would say, well, yeah, but then how do I know how much money that person is going to be bringing? So how do I know how much to raise it up there? Okay, well, then raise it to 110. And then if you get a cat that comes in and he's got 6K down instead of 10, then, lower the price for him and make it work. Take your 6K and run. Make it 106 instead of 110. All right. Does that make sense? I hope so. Clint's talking about boots on the ground. Yeah, I love boots on the ground. And Mike says, who puts the sign in the yard? Who shows property if owner can't? Yeah. Well, you're talking about doing a virtual wholesale lease option out of state. Who shows the property if the owner can't? Yep. You mean if the house is vacant and there's no one living there, and let's say the owner is also out of state. Yep. Then what you have to do, Mike, is you have to call. You can use the automated REI, actually, that I just showed you, and you can scrape for realtors. And then you ask realtors if there's one around who would be willing to help you out and do some paperwork and show a property for you for a flat rate fee of $250 or something like that when you close, or $500 when you close, and bada bing, bada boom, you've got boots on the ground. Okay, Janet Franklin, how can you wholesale in another state? Yeah, we were just talking about that, Janet. It works just exactly the same way. So use the automated REI, go into a completely different metropolitan area, a different city, go right over there, pull leads, scrape for leads, then do a text blast, and then, get on the phone and respond to the ones that are yeses and maybes. And then, what you're going to do is you're going to advertise for a buyer. And the homeowner is going to show the property for you, or you're going to get a realtor to show it for you. That's that simple. That simple. Yep. You guys are thinking up some pretty complicated ideas. I mean, these things are really, typically they move along much smoother in real life. Okay, you guys are imagining all the scenarios where there's like, the owner can't show the property, and maybe there's not a realtor in town who'd be willing to help, and then they lost the front door key, and then, oh my God, it's really, guys, everybody's motivated to get this deal done. Typically when you're dealing with the right people, you're dealing with motivated sellers. Everybody wants to get this deal done, man. They're willing to figure out a way to get this house shown. If you're going to be bringing people, yeah, and I don't mean bringing them personally, or sending people, yeah. So don't I'm just trying to encourage you to not outthink yourself here, guys. Don't double think yourself. It works the same way in other markets as it does right here in your home market. I do it right here in my home market too, and I rarely go see these places or do any of that. It's all, you can do virtual stuff right where you live. Like, I don't even leave my house. Okay. Are there any other questions? You guys have got some great questions popping in here. These are really good questions. Thanks, guys. I'm glad that you're asking. What is it? Inquiring minds want to know. And you definitely want to know. And that's the first step, is learning, getting some confidence, getting ready to, getting your paperwork together. If you haven't gotten that, that seller leave behind, edit it up, make it yours for real. Like I showed you the example of the member in our accountability team here who really, kind of took it to the next level, and that's what you ought to do. You're just gonna slap your logo on my stuff and move on. I mean, make it yours. That's what I've been saying. Make it yours. Get them contracts out, read them, understand what's up. It's not, we're not asking them to sell us their firstborn child here. We're asking them to let us solve a problem for them, and we're not creating a risk situation for them either. Okay, we're not creating a risk situation for you, and we're not creating a risk situation for them. Okay, so let's not keep ourselves in what, and I don't mean this to sound rude, but let's not keep ourselves in ignorance. Okay, let's just get to the paperwork. Let's get it all out. Let's read it. Let's understand it. and let's find out what our objective is here. We're not asking them to sell their firstborn. We're just trying to solve a problem for them, and this is how much commitment level they need. And be honest with you, it ain't much. It ain't much. So get in there, get that confidence level you need built up. Go to the automated REI and check it out. Go ahead and sign up and put some money in the wallet and start kind of testing around on doing some scrapes in the market area that you want to do, because this is how you do this in a matter of a few hours. You can put a deal together from start to finish in 6, 7, 8 hours, maybe 10 if you're brand new. Okay, this is how you do it instead of weeks and weeks and months. Okay, now the automated REI is an integral part of that. Integrable. I don't even know what that means. Anyway, Alifa wants to know if she can talk to me about the mentoring. Well, yeah, I don't know why not. Yeah, I'm available to talk about that. Yep, I'm all about one-on-one mentoring. If I can help folks out, let's get her done. Let's do it. I want to help. That's what it's all about, helping each other. Nobody gets rich in this business alone. All right, guys, next week, wholesaling and lease options, virtual, 4 weeks to your first deal, session number 3. We're going to be actually doing text blast on a scrape that we pulled. I'm going to actually do a text blast, and we're going to interact with some of them right here on camera. It's going to be great. You guys are getting raw training here, guys, and it's free. Check us out. Hit like and subscribe. We'll talk soon.